What if everything you've been chasing, love, success, happiness, has been running away from you all along? What if the key to unlocking it all wasn't about doing more, striving harder, or pushing yourself to the limit, but instead, letting go? Imagine this: you wake up, but this time you don't just see the world around you. You see yourself differently. You stop chasing approval, validation, success, and the never-ending pursuit of external validation. Instead, you turn inward. And in that moment, something extraordinary happens. You stop looking for love because you are already love. You stop searching for success because you already have it within you. You stop fearing the future because you realize you are enough, right here, right now. But here's the shocker. What if the world has been reflecting back to you exactly what you believe you deserve? What if everything you've been calling into your life, relationships, opportunities, success, has been a mirror of the energy you've been sending out? The truth is, you are not broken. You are not too late. You are not incomplete. You are simply waiting to awaken to the truth that you are enough just as you are. But this journey, it's not easy. It requires stepping into your power and seeing yourself as the source of everything you've been searching for. As we dive into this journey together, we'll uncover the profound lessons from Buddhism that have the power to change not only the way you see yourself, but also how you experience the world around you. It's time to stop chasing and start living from a place of deep self-love. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Buddhism in Every Moment, so you never miss another video like this one. Your support fuels our passion to create more life-changing content for you. Now, let's dive deep into the journey of self-love. Part 1. Introduction: the power of self-love. What if the real reason you haven't achieved everything you want in life isn't because you're not trying hard enough, but because deep down you still believe you're not worthy of it? Love, peace, success. These are all things we constantly chase, thinking that if we work hard enough, we'll finally feel worthy of them. We get caught in the cycle of striving, achieving, and then striving some more. But what if the answer isn't in running harder or faster? What if the answer lies in stillness? The truth is, you deserve everything you've ever wanted, but the key to receiving it isn't by pushing harder, it's by loving yourself fully, just as you are right now. Here's the catch. The moment you stop chasing, that's when everything you desire starts flowing toward you. It sounds counterintuitive, right? It feels like the world has taught us that to get anything, we must chase it, push it, fight for it. But in the stillness of self-love, we realize that when we stop chasing, we stop pushing things away. Why? Because the energy of desperation is what repels the very things we want. When you chase from a place of lack, when you believe that you're incomplete, broken, or not enough, you send out a frequency of desperation. And the universe mirrors that. But when you shift the energy inside, when you embrace self-love as the foundation of your life, things start to change. The universe responds not to your desperation, but to the vibration of your self-worth. You no longer need to beg life for validation or prove your worth through external achievements. You become the proof. In Buddhism, we are taught that the world mirrors how we treat ourselves. The love we seek outside of ourselves is a reflection of the love we give ourselves. When you love yourself truly and deeply, you stop searching for validation from others. You start radiating love, success, and peace because it's already within you. But how do we get there? How do we begin to love ourselves when we've been conditioned to look for approval and validation everywhere but within? It's a journey, and it starts with this simple truth. You are worthy of your own love. This doesn't mean loving yourself only when you've achieved something. It means loving yourself right now just as you are. Not when you're perfect, but exactly as you are in this moment, flaws, mistakes, fears, and all. Here's an exercise to start that journey. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, picture yourself standing in front of a mirror. Look into your eyes and silently say to yourself, "I love you. You are enough just as you are." Feel the power in those words. Let them sink in. You are not waiting for someone else to validate your worth. You are enough. And when you believe that, the world will reflect that back to you. In the next part, we'll explore why chasing our desires often makes them run further away from us. and how we can embrace stillness to finally attract what we truly deserve. Part 2. Chasing Desires, the Illusion of Fulfillment. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you chase after success, love, or peace, they always seem to slip further away? The faster you run, the more distant they become, as though life is playing a game of hide and seek and you're always just one step behind. This is the paradox. The more you chase, the more elusive those desires become. It's as though the universe has a secret rulebook, one that tells you that chasing only makes you run in circles. The harder you strive, the more you reinforce the belief that you are not enough, and from this belief comes an energy of desperation, and desperation never attracts peace. Imagine this for a moment. You're chasing after a butterfly. The more you reach for it, the more it flutters away just out of your grasp. But what if you stopped running and allowed the butterfly to come to you? What if you sat still, centered in your own presence, calm and grounded? That butterfly, sensing your stillness, might just land gently on your hand. This, in essence, is how life works. The things we chase in desperation are often running away from us because they sense the fear and uncertainty beneath our actions. We've been conditioned to believe that we must always work harder, hustle faster, do more in order to achieve our desires. We believe that if we're not constantly striving, we're failing. But in doing so, we're missing a profound truth. Desire chased from a place of lack will always remain just beyond our reach. Buddhism teaches us a different approach. Stillness is the key. Not passivity, not inaction, but a deep, conscious presence. When you stop chasing after external validation, love, or success, and begin to cultivate inner peace, that's when everything starts to align. It's not about stopping your ambitions, your dreams, or your desires. It's about changing how you approach them. Rather than chasing with a sense of urgency, step back and let life come to you. When you love yourself enough, you stop demanding proof from life because you become the proof. You stop looking for external validation, and you start realizing that the validation you need is already within you. This lesson doesn't just apply to material success. It applies to everything in your life, relationships, friendships, even your relationship with yourself. When you chase affection, for instance, you only create a cycle of unmet needs. But when you sit in the stillness of self-love, you stop needing that validation from others. You become magnetic. The right people, the right opportunities, the right experiences start coming into your life, not because you're chasing them, but because you've stopped resisting what's meant for you. A powerful Buddhist practice that embodies this concept is mindful breathing. It's simple, yet transformative. When you breathe deeply, consciously, you create space for the present moment. You stop racing ahead to the next goal, the next success, the next relationship, and you simply breathe. And in that breath, you reconnect with yourself and the world around you. Next time you feel the urge to chase, pause, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Allow yourself to be still. What do you notice in that moment? Maybe the answer to your desires isn't in the constant striving, but in the quiet acceptance of what already is. The more you relax into this stillness, the more your desires will begin to find their way to you. In the next part, we will explore why stillness not only attracts what we desire but transforms us into the best version of ourselves. It's a journey that begins within, and when you trust it, life starts to flow in a way you never expected. Part 3. The Art of Stillness. Why Presence is Power. In our world where everything moves at a breakneck speed, stillness often seems like a foreign concept. We're told to hustle, grind, and keep moving, as if our worth is measured by how fast we run and how much we accumulate. But what if the most powerful thing you can do is to stop? What if the act of doing nothing is actually doing everything for you? Stillness is not the absence of action. It is the presence of awareness, being fully present with yourself and the moment around you, without the pressure to perform, fix, or achieve. When we stop constantly reaching, when we stop forcing life to unfold on our terms, we open ourselves up to an entirely new realm of possibilities. This is the power of stillness. Think of a lake. On a calm day, its surface is still and clear, perfectly reflecting the sky above. The moment it is disturbed by a stone or a splash, the clarity is broken and the reflection becomes muddled. Our minds are no different. When we're constantly in motion, constantly worrying, planning, striving, we disrupt the clarity of our inner being. But in stillness, the mind is like the calm lake, reflecting everything clearly. Buddhism teaches us that true wisdom is found in being, not doing. When we are still, we reconnect with the deepest parts of ourselves, the parts that know the truth of who we are, beyond the noise of our thoughts and the demands of the world. In this stillness, we allow ourselves to simply be present with what is, without judgment, without expectations, just accepting the moment as it is. The magic of stillness is that, in that space of peace, you are able to listen, not just to the world around you, but to the whispers of your own heart. Often, we spend so much time seeking answers outside ourselves, reading books, asking for advice, listening to others' opinions, that we forget the most important voice we need to hear is our own. Stillness gives us the space to hear that voice. It helps us reconnect with our intuition, the inner wisdom that has always been there but was drowned out by the noise of our busy lives. It's in this stillness that we realize you don't need to search for answers. They've always been within you. In those quiet moments, we remember who we are. We remember that we are not defined by our achievements, our mistakes, or our past. We are more than the roles we play or the expectations placed upon us. We are not our jobs, our titles, or our relationships. We are the stillness beneath it all, the constant that exists even when everything else is in motion. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more we embrace this stillness, the more power we find within ourselves. It's not the frantic energy of doing that brings results, but the calm, centered energy of being. Stillness is power. It's the ability to remain grounded, present, and aligned with your truth, no matter what's happening around you. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. When was the last time you truly sat still, without distractions or a need to fill the silence with thoughts or tasks? How did you feel in that stillness? Maybe uncomfortable at first, but as you embraced it, you might have felt a sense of peace wash over you. That's the energy of stillness, the energy that creates space for everything you desire to enter your life effortlessly. The next time you feel overwhelmed or uncertain, remember this. Stillness is not emptiness. It is presence. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. In this space, you are not rushing towards something. You are simply allowing life to flow to you, trusting that everything you need will come at the perfect time in the perfect way. As we move into the next part, we'll explore why this stillness doesn't just attract what we desire, but it transforms us into the very best version of ourselves. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the magnetic force of self-worth and how stillness shapes our reality by shifting our inner energy. Part 4. Self-worth. The magnetic force. There's an undeniable force within you, a magnetic force that draws everything you need into your life. But here's the catch. That force is only as strong as the belief you have in your own worth. You are constantly emitting energy into the world, whether you're aware of it or not, and what you attract is a direct reflection of how much you believe you deserve what you desire. For far too long, we've been taught to look outside ourselves for validation. We chase approval from others, seeking affirmation from the world around us. We hustle, perform, and prove ourselves, thinking that the more we do, the more worthy we will become. But in reality, your worth is not something you have to earn. It is something you were born with. Think of it like a precious gemstone. No matter how much dirt or dust it collects, its value never changes. It is valuable by nature, not because of what it does or how it looks to others, but because of what it is. And so are you. You are valuable by nature, and the moment you truly accept that, you begin to shift the energy around you. Imagine this. When you walk into a room with the belief that you are worthy of love, success, happiness, the entire room feels it. Your presence becomes magnetic. People are drawn to your energy because they sense that you have nothing to prove. You've already recognized your worth, and that's incredibly powerful. When you are at peace with yourself, you no longer need to seek external validation. You attract what is meant for you not because you chase it, but because you stand rooted in your own power. But here's the truth. It's not always easy to believe in our own worth. We live in a world that constantly measures us by external standards, by what we have, what we do, and what others think of us. But Buddhism teaches us to look within, to realize that true worth is not found in external accomplishments or approval. It's found in the stillness of self-awareness. It's knowing, deep within, that you are enough exactly as you are. Your worth doesn't need to be proven. It needs to be remembered. The first step in awakening this magnetic force is to truly believe you are worthy of everything you desire. It's about letting go of the belief that you need to do more, be more, or prove yourself more to the world. When you stop chasing, when you stop trying to fill an invisible void, you begin to realize that the void was never there to begin with. You are whole, you are complete, and everything you've ever wanted is already within your reach. This belief isn't just about attracting material things or external success. It's about attracting peace, love, and harmony into your life. When you believe you are worthy of peace, you create the space for it to enter your life. When you believe you are worthy of love, you become the person who can offer that love, not just to others, but to yourself as well. But here's the most powerful lesson of all. When you begin to love yourself, you become the source of everything you've been looking for. You are no longer seeking external validation or approval because you already know your worth. The world around you begins to reflect this confidence, and everything you've been chasing starts to come to you effortlessly. So, ask yourself this. How much do you truly believe in your own worth? How often do you look outside yourself for confirmation of your value? What would happen if you stopped looking for approval and started giving yourself the love and recognition you seek from others? The moment you begin to honor your worth, you begin to magnetize everything you need. In the next part, we will explore how stillness and self-worth combine to create a powerful energy that not only attracts what you desire, but transforms your life from the inside out. It's time to embrace your worth and understand that you are the source of the life you've always dreamed of. Part 5. Detachment, letting go to receive. We live in a world that tells us to hold on tightly to our desires, our dreams, our relationships, and even our sense of self. We believe that if we grip life with both hands, we can control it, shape it, and make it work in our favor. But what if true power lies not in holding on, but in letting go? It's one of the greatest paradoxes of life. The tighter you hold on, the more you push away. This is the truth about attachment. When we cling to things, whether it's a person, a job, or a version of ourselves, we create resistance. We fear that if we let go, we will lose it forever. But in reality, it's this fear that keeps what we want at a distance. Detachment doesn't mean indifference or lack of care. It doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or turning your back on what you love. Detachment is a form of trust, trust in the natural flow of life. It's the understanding that when you let go, you create space for what is truly meant for you to enter. Surrendering to life's flow is not about losing, it's about gaining. Buddhism teaches that attachment leads to suffering because when we attach ourselves to something, we begin to identify with it. We believe that without it, we are incomplete or unworthy. This belief creates fear and anxiety. But when we practice detachment, we release the need for control. We trust that what is meant for us will come in its own time, and when it does, it will bring us the peace and joy we seek. Think of a tree standing in the wind. The wind may bend the branches, but the tree remains rooted. It doesn't fight the wind, but rather allows itself to bend and sway, trusting that the storm will pass and the calm will return. This is the essence of detachment, being rooted in your truth while remaining open to the flow of life. You don't need to force anything, because when you let go of the need to control, you allow life to move freely, bringing you exactly what you need in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. One of the most liberating lessons you can learn is this. You are not defined by what you hold on to. We often attach our sense of self to our possessions, our relationships, our jobs, and even our pain. We think that these things are who we are. But the truth is, you are more than your attachments. You are the space in which these things exist, but you are not limited by them. What if you stopped identifying with your past mistakes, your unfulfilled desires, or the image of who you think you should be? What if you let go of the need to prove yourself to the world? When you do this, you free yourself from the burden of attachment and step into the freedom of being fully present with what is, right now. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or giving in to the world's demands. It means you are no longer dependent on external things to feel whole. When you are detached, you can hold your desires lightly. You still want them, but you no longer depend on them for your happiness or sense of worth. This is where the magic happens. As soon as you let go of the desperate need for something, it has space to come to you. Imagine for a moment, you've been holding on to something tightly for years. Maybe it's a relationship that's run its course, a dream that feels out of reach, or a version of yourself that no longer fits who you are becoming. Now imagine that you let go. You open your hands and release it. You no longer grip it with fear or desperation, but instead, you trust that life will bring you what you truly need. This act of letting go creates a vacuum, and in that vacuum, the universe rushes in to fill it. Detachment is the highest form of faith. It's trusting that what is meant for you will never pass you by. It's trusting that you are deserving of what you seek, but that you don't need to chase it. Life will unfold naturally, and when you release your grip, you allow yourself to receive it with open arms. In the next part, we'll explore how surrendering to life's flow doesn't mean losing your desires, but rather, it's the act of allowing what is meant for you to find you. This surrender is not weakness. It is the ultimate expression of strength, the strength to trust that life has a plan far greater than we could ever force into existence. Part 6. The energy of compassion, turning chaos into clarity. In a world that constantly demands more work, more success, more validation, we often forget to give ourselves the most essential thing, compassion. We are quick to offer compassion to others, but how often do we extend it to ourselves, especially when we feel lost, broken, or unsure? The teachings of Buddhism remind us that compassion is not just about kindness toward others, but also about showing deep, unshakable kindness to ourselves. Compassion is the bridge that connects us to our inner peace, allowing us to heal the wounds we've been carrying, sometimes for a lifetime. But true compassion doesn't mean ignoring our flaws or pretending that we don't feel pain. True compassion means embracing our imperfections with love and understanding, without judgment or resistance. Imagine you are walking through a storm. The wind is fierce, the rain is heavy, and the thunder roars like a constant reminder of the chaos around you. It's easy to get caught up in the storm, to become swept away by the noise and turbulence. But what if, instead of running from it, you stood still? What if, in the midst of the chaos, you wrapped yourself in a warm blanket of compassion? Instead of resisting the storm, you embraced it, knowing that the storm is temporary and you have the strength to weather it. This is the power of compassion, to remain still and centered, even in the face of hardship. Compassion doesn't require us to be perfect. In fact, it's in our imperfections that compassion truly thrives. When we allow ourselves to feel vulnerable, we create space for healing. The Buddha teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life, but it's through compassion that we begin to transform that suffering into clarity and wisdom. When we practice self-compassion, we stop punishing ourselves for our mistakes, for our past, or for the parts of ourselves we feel ashamed of. Instead, we learn to listen to the pain, the fear, and the sorrow that have been pushed aside for far too long. We hold these emotions gently, without shame, as we would a child who has been hurt. This is the essence of Buddhist compassion, to love ourselves not in spite of our flaws but because of them. Think about how you treat a friend who is hurting. You don't judge them for their pain. You sit with them, offering a shoulder to lean on, a kind word, a listening ear. But do you offer the same grace to yourself when you are struggling? Often, we are our harshest critics, quick to judge and slow to heal. But when we practice self-compassion, we allow ourselves the grace to heal at our own pace, without the pressure to fix ourselves. Compassion also means understanding that our pain is not something to run from, but something to learn from. It's easy to want to escape discomfort, to bury it, or pretend it doesn't exist. But Buddhism teaches that suffering is the path to enlightenment. It is through our pain that we find our deepest lessons. Instead of resisting our challenges, we can choose to see them as opportunities for growth. Each challenge holds within it the seed of wisdom, but we can only see it when we approach it with compassion, not judgment. So how do we cultivate this compassion in our daily lives? It starts with the simple act of being kind to ourselves. Next time you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, try this. Pause, take a deep breath, and say, "It's okay. I am doing the best I can, and I am enough." This simple act of self-kindness can begin to shift the energy within you, turning chaos into clarity and pain into growth. Buddhism teaches us that the quality of our inner dialogue shapes the reality we experience. If we constantly speak to ourselves with harshness, we create an environment of fear and anxiety. But when we speak with compassion, we create space for peace and healing to enter. Your inner voice is the most powerful tool you have to transform your reality. Speak to yourself with the same love and care that you would offer a dear friend in need. As we move into the next part, we will explore how this compassion for ourselves and others is deeply connected to the law of attraction in Buddhism. When we begin to embody compassion, we not only heal ourselves, but we create a powerful magnetic force that draws love, peace, and abundance into our lives. Part 7. The Mirror of the World, How Your Energy Reflects Back. The world around you is not a separate entity, distant and detached from who you are. It is, in fact, a mirror, reflecting back the energy you carry within. Every interaction, every encounter, and every moment of your day serves as a reflection of your inner state. If you are peaceful, compassionate, and loving within, that is exactly what the world will mirror back to you. But if you are filled with fear, anger, or resentment, these are the energies the world will reflect as well. This concept is rooted deeply in Buddhist teachings. The law of karmic reflection states that we are not only responsible for our actions, but also for the energy we send out into the world. Our thoughts, our words, and our actions are like ripples in a pond, spreading outward and returning to us in one form or another. The Buddha taught that we become what we believe, and the world becomes a mirror of those beliefs. Think about the relationships you have. How do you interact with others, and how do they respond to you? If you approach people with judgment, expecting them to be imperfect or untrustworthy, you may find yourself surrounded by relationships that confirm these beliefs. If, however, you approach others with kindness, understanding, and compassion, you invite these qualities into your life. You are not attracting what you want, you are attracting who you are. The energy you hold within yourself shapes the people and experiences that come into your life. If you believe that you are unworthy, incomplete, or flawed, the world will reflect that belief back to you in the form of situations that reaffirm these feelings. But when you shift your energy to one of self-love, peace, and confidence, the world begins to mirror these qualities, bringing into your life people and circumstances that support this new truth. This is the power of self-awareness. When you begin to change your inner dialogue, when you begin to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, the world around you changes accordingly. Buddhism teaches us that the mind is the root of all things. Our perceptions of the world are shaped by the lens through which we see it. If we see the world as a place full of threats, competition, and scarcity, that is what we will encounter. But when we choose to see the world through the lens of love, peace, and abundance, we invite these qualities into our lives. The key to transforming your life is to recognize the power of your energy. You are the creator of your own reality. If you want to attract love, compassion, and peace, you must first cultivate those qualities within yourself. You cannot give to others what you do not have for yourself. The love you seek is already within you. By loving yourself fully, you create the space for love to flow freely into every area of your life. Consider the metaphor of a flower. When a flower blooms, it does not chase the bees. The bees come to it because of the flower's natural beauty, its fragrance, its essence. Similarly, when you align with your true self, you no longer need to chase after love, success, or peace. These things come to you naturally, attracted to the energy you radiate. Buddhism teaches us that when we are in harmony with ourselves, the world around us comes into harmony as well. When we let go of the need to control or manipulate our environment, we open ourselves to the natural flow of life. This is the essence of detachment, not the abandonment of our desires, but the trust that when we align with our true nature, everything we need will come to us effortlessly. The world is constantly reflecting your energy, your beliefs, and your emotions. If you want to change your life, the first step is to change the energy within. When you cultivate inner peace, love, and self-acceptance, the world will reflect those qualities back to you in abundance. Now, take a moment to reflect on the energy you are sending out into the world. Are you sending out love, peace, and gratitude? Or are you sending out fear, doubt, and frustration? The world is your mirror, reflecting back to you everything you believe about yourself and the world around you. In the next part, we will explore how this alignment with the energy of love and peace allows us to attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences into our lives effortlessly. It is through this deep alignment with our true nature that we begin to experience the full richness and abundance life has to offer. Part 8. Peace. The ultimate frequency. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant movement, peace is often seen as a luxury, something we can only experience when all the external conditions are perfect. But what if the truth is that peace is not something we find outside of ourselves? What if peace is a frequency, a state of being, that we can tap into at any moment, regardless of what's happening around us? Buddhism teaches us that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of harmony within ourselves. It is the ability to remain calm and centered, even in the face of life's challenges. True peace comes not from external circumstances aligning with our desires, but from the deep knowing that we are enough, just as we are. It is an inner stillness that remains unshaken, no matter the storm. This peace is not passive. It is powerful. Peace is the most powerful frequency because it sends a signal to the universe that you are grounded in your truth, that you trust the flow of life, and that you are open to receiving all the good things that the universe has to offer. When you are at peace with yourself, you are no longer fighting against life. You are in harmony with it. Think of a still pond. When the water is calm, it perfectly reflects the sky above. But when the water is disturbed, by wind, rain, or a stone thrown in, those reflections become clouded. When your mind is in a state of peace, your life reflects that peace. It becomes clear, fluid, and abundant. But when your mind is filled with chaos, doubt, or fear, your life reflects that chaos. The more you struggle, the more you create resistance to the flow of life. The more you fight, the more life fights back. But here's the powerful realization. Peace is not something you have to work for or chase. It is already within you, waiting to be accessed. You have always had the ability to tune into this frequency, but we often overlook it in favor of the noise and distractions that fill our days. The noise of society, the noise of our thoughts, the noise of our desires, they all pull us away from the natural state of peace within us. The key to tapping into this peace is to stop searching for it outside of yourself. The more you seek peace in external circumstances, waiting for the perfect job, the perfect relationship, the perfect situation, the more elusive it becomes. But when you turn inward, when you quiet your mind, you realize that peace is not something you find. It is something you remember. It is always there in the quiet stillness of your soul. Buddhism teaches that inner peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It is the result of letting go of the need to control, to force, and to strive. When you release the need to make things happen, when you stop attaching your happiness to specific outcomes, you create space for peace to enter your life. You stop resisting life and allow it to unfold naturally. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting by a river. The current flows gently, effortlessly, without resistance. The water moves because it knows its direction. It trusts the flow. Similarly, when you align with the peace within you, your life begins to flow effortlessly. You stop swimming against the current and start flowing with it. This is not to say that challenges won't arise or that life won't present difficult moments. Peace does not mean the absence of conflict, but the presence of calm amidst it. It means being able to face life's difficulties with a quiet mind and a steady heart. It is knowing that no matter what happens, you are grounded in your truth and your worth, and nothing outside of you can take that away. The Buddha taught that peace is the foundation of wisdom. It is only when we are at peace that we can truly see things as they are, without the distortion of fear, judgment, or attachment. When we are in a state of peace, we can navigate life with clarity and grace. We no longer need to force outcomes or chase after validation. Instead, we trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and we allow ourselves to be part of that flow. So, how do we cultivate this peace within ourselves? It starts with the practice of letting go of the need to control, to force, to rush. It means embracing the present moment and accepting that life is unfolding in its own time. It is the recognition that you are enough, right now, and you don't need to do anything to prove that to the world. You are peace and peace is you. Take a moment to close your eyes and breathe deeply. Feel the breath move in and out, steady and calm. With each breath, imagine yourself sinking deeper into the stillness within you. Feel the weight of the world lifting as you connect with your inner peace. This is your natural state, the calm, centered, peaceful version of yourself that has always existed, waiting for you to return to it. In the next part, we will explore how this peace is not only a source of personal strength, but also a magnetic force that draws everything you desire into your life. When you are aligned with your inner peace, you align with the flow of life itself, and everything you need begins to find its way to you effortlessly. Part 9. The Power of Quiet Confidence. In a world that celebrates noise, volume, and the loudest voices, true power often goes unnoticed. It is the quiet, steady, unshakable strength that doesn't demand attention but effortlessly commands respect. This is the power of quiet confidence, the confidence that doesn't need to prove anything because it knows its own worth. It is the confidence that comes from deep within, from a place of inner peace, self-acceptance, and alignment with your true self. Imagine a tall tree standing in a vast forest. It does not seek attention. It simply grows, rooted deeply in the earth. Its branches reach out, strong yet graceful, offering shelter and comfort to those who come near. It doesn't shout to be seen. Its presence is enough. This is the essence of quiet confidence. It is the strength to be without the need to perform, the wisdom to trust without the need to explain, and the peace to simply be without the urge to impress. Buddhism teaches us that true power does not come from force, but from being in harmony with the present moment. The more you align with your true nature, the more you allow life to unfold as it is meant to. When you no longer feel the need to do or prove, you free yourself to simply be. This being, this quiet alignment with the universe, is where true power lies. Quiet confidence comes from knowing that you do not need to shout to be heard. In a world that often values the loudest voice, the most dramatic gesture, and the most aggressive pursuit, we sometimes forget that there is a much deeper form of influence. The influence of those who remain calm, steady, and grounded in their own truth. It is the influence of those who trust that their worth is not measured by how much they do or how much they get, but by who they are in their quiet moments, away from the spotlight. Buddhism calls this inner peace the stillness of the mind, the place where all things are clear and the true nature of existence can be realized. When the mind is still, when there is no chaos within, your energy becomes magnetic. People are drawn to it because they sense that you are not seeking anything from them. You are complete, and in that completeness, you radiate a quiet strength that speaks louder than words ever could. The quietest people often have the most profound impact. Their words are few, but when they speak, they do so with purpose. Their actions are simple, but they carry great meaning. This is the strength of quiet confidence. It is not flashy, but it is undeniable. It is not about making noise. It is about being so aligned with your truth that your very presence communicates everything that needs to be said. We've all encountered people who, without uttering a word, make us feel seen, valued, and respected. These people are not necessarily the loudest, the fastest, or the most outgoing. They are often the ones who have done the inner work, who have found their own peace, who trust in their own worth, and who do not need to prove anything to anyone. This is the kind of confidence that comes from within. It's not based on external validation. It's rooted in the understanding that you are enough, exactly as you are. This quiet confidence is not about being passive or indifferent to the world around you. It's about being so anchored in your own truth that you no longer need to force anything. You are not waiting for permission to live your life. You do not need the approval of others to move forward. You move with the flow of life, trusting that everything you need will come to you at the perfect time. Think about the difference between the person who chases after recognition and the one who simply walks their path, knowing they are already worthy. The one who chases may find temporary validation, but it will never feel as satisfying as the deep, unwavering sense of peace that comes with quiet confidence. This is the difference between seeking approval and knowing you are already approved by life itself. In Buddhism, we are reminded that true power lies in being still. The Buddha himself sat in meditation for hours, not trying to achieve anything, but simply being with what is. In that still, you don't have to force your way into the world. When you are aligned with your inner truth, the world will find its way to you. Now, ask yourself, are you seeking approval from others? Are you trying to prove something to the world? Or are you instead quietly living in alignment with your truth, knowing that you are already enough? In the next part, we will dive into the profound power of letting go of the need to prove yourself and how this shift allows you to align with the flow of life, bringing everything you desire effortlessly into your world. Part 10. Conclusion: the transformation of self-love. As we reach the end of this journey together, let's pause for a moment and reflect on everything we've uncovered. From the depths of self-doubt and the pursuit of external validation, to the profound peace found in stillness, the magnetic force of self-worth, and the strength in quiet confidence, we have explored the fundamental truths of Buddhism and how they can radically transform our lives. Self-love is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Buddhism teaches us that the root of all suffering is attachment. In this stillness, in this deep self-love, we find the space to grow. We find the strength to be vulnerable, the wisdom to be still, and the power to trust in the unfolding of our lives. As we stop seeking approval and validation from the outside world, we start to see that everything we need has always been inside us. The peace, the love, the abundance, they are all there, waiting for us to remember them. But the journey does not end here. Self-love is a practice, a constant return to the truth of who we are. Every day, we must choose to love ourselves, to quiet the inner critic, and to embrace our flaws with compassion. The more we practice, the more natural it becomes. And as we deepen this practice, we begin to notice that the world around us begins to reflect that love back to us in ways we never imagined. The Buddha's teachings remind us that we are the architects of our own reality. The thoughts we think, the words we speak, and the energy we project create the when we love ourselves. So, I invite you to reflect on the most important question of all. How much do you truly value can begin to by? As we conclude this journey, remember that the path of self-love is ongoing. It is not about reaching a destination, but about choosing every day to live from a place of deep self-acceptance, stillness, and peace. And so, the journey continues. Every moment is an opportunity to return to yourself, to remember your worth, and to create the life you desire, rooted in love and peace. Summary of the journey: the transformation through self-love and peace. Throughout this journey, we have walked through the transformative path of self-love, peace, and stillness. It's been a path of unraveling layers of doubt, fear, and attachment. and stepping into a place of profound inner peace and wisdom. From the earliest moments of our journey, where we explored the destructive power of chasing external validation, to the quiet realization that true fulfillment and happiness come from within, we've discovered that everything we need has always been inside us, waiting to be acknowledged and embraced. The first lesson we encountered was the power of self-love, the fundamental truth that we are worthy of love simply because we exist. Society often tells us that love must be earned or given based on our achievements, but true love comes from within. It is not something we have to chase or beg for. It is a natural state of being that we need only to remember. By loving ourselves, we begin to attract everything we need into our lives without effort. When we stop chasing external validation and instead focus on cultivating love and peace within ourselves, we create space for everything we desire to flow naturally to us. We then journeyed into the world of stillness, where we discovered that the more we chase success, love, and happiness, the more they seem to elude us. The faster we run, the further these things get. But when we stop chasing and embrace stillness, we create a calm, powerful energy that naturally attracts what we need. Stillness is not passive. It is an active state of being. It is a conscious presence in the moment where we are grounded in self-awareness and self-acceptance. It is from this stillness that clarity arises, and it is in this space that we can see the truth of who we are and what we truly need. Next, we dove into the concept of self-worth, where we learned that the energy we put out into the world is what we attract back. When we believe in our own value and radiate this belief, we magnetize opportunities, love, and peace into our lives. Conversely, when we doubt our worth, we attract situations and people who mirror that doubt. The lesson here was clear. You cannot attract what you do not believe you deserve. To transform our reality, we must first transform the way we view ourselves. Detachment was the next powerful lesson, where we learned that holding on tightly to outcomes, expectations, and past experiences creates resistance. Instead of clinging to things, we were shown the freedom of letting go and allowing life to unfold naturally. This is not about giving up or being passive. It's about trusting the flow of life. When we let go of our need for control, we create space for what is meant for us to come into our lives effortlessly. As we moved deeper into the journey, we learned the incredible power of compassion, first for ourselves and then for others. Compassion is not just about kindness, but about embracing our imperfections with love and understanding. When we practice self-compassion, we stop judging ourselves for our mistakes, and we begin the process of healing and transformation. Through compassion, we turn our pain into wisdom and our struggles into opportunities for growth. We then explored how our energy is a reflection of the world around us. The world acts as a mirror, reflecting back the energy we put out. If we are filled with fear, doubt, and resentment, the world reflects that back to us. But when we are filled with love, peace, and acceptance, the world responds in kind. This teaching from Buddhism reminds us that we are the creators of our reality. The energy we carry within ourselves shapes the world we experience. By aligning our energy with love and peace, we begin to attract those same qualities into our lives. Next, we unlock the true power of peace. The realization that peace is not something we need to find outside of ourselves, but something we can access at any moment. Peace is the ultimate frequency, a state of being that does not rely on external circumstances. It is rooted in the understanding that we are enough, and that life will unfold as it is meant to, without the need to force or control it. When we are at peace with ourselves, the universe aligns with that peace, and everything we need naturally finds its way to us. The final lesson we explored was the power of quiet confidence, a strength that comes not from loud declarations or external validation, but from deep within. Quiet confidence is rooted in self-awareness, inner peace, and the understanding that we do not need to prove anything to anyone. It is the strength to simply be, knowing that we are already enough, and that our worth is not dependent on the approval of others. When we embody quiet confidence, we radiate a power that is magnetic and undeniable. We no longer chase after validation, we become the source of it. The deep lesson and how to apply it. The overarching lesson from this journey is that true transformation begins with self-love and acceptance. When we stop looking outside of ourselves for validation, approval, or success, and instead begin to cultivate these things within, we unlock a power that is limitless. The more we love ourselves, the more we become a magnet for the things we truly desire: peace, love, happiness, and success. It's a paradox, but it's the most profound truth we can embrace. We already have everything we need inside us. The external world is simply a reflection of our inner world. In our fast-paced, achievement-driven society, it's easy to forget that we are enough, just as we are. We often define ourselves by what we have or what we've accomplished, but true worth and happiness come from understanding that our value is not defined by external factors. It is defined by our connection to our inner selves, our peace, and our ability to love ourselves unconditionally. To apply these lessons in your life, start by practicing self-compassion every day. When you feel the urge to criticize yourself, pause and replace that judgment with love. Remind yourself that you are worthy of everything you desire. When you feel yourself chasing after something, take a step back and embrace stillness. Trust that everything you need will come to you when the time is right. Let go of the need to control and allow life to unfold naturally. Cultivate peace in your daily life through mindful practices like meditation, deep breathing, or simply taking moments throughout the day to reconnect with yourself. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the lesson shared today. What are your personal reflections on self-love and how it can transform your life? Feel free to share your opinions and insights in the comments. Let's support each other in this journey. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Buddhism in every moment to stay inspired and connected with more insightful content. Your support helps us continue creating videos that bring peace, wisdom, and transformation to your life.